Hey, I guess it's a little bit late, but happy Thanksgiving, or technically, I guess today would be Happy Black Friday. Hope you're not trying to kill each other out there to get deals, especially in 2020. Um, I'm sitting here unwrapping something I bought a while back. I've mentioned it before. A board game I saw that I was interested in. Let me get this. Touch of Evil, 10-year anniversary edition. I wasn't joking when I said I like board games, though I rarely get to play them, unfortunately. Mainly because it's mostly just me. Now, this particular game is better with, I believe it was at least 2 up to like 5 or 6, but it's probably better to do it with like 3 or 4, if I were to guess. The cardboard punch outs represent all the different enemies, if I were to guess. You're probably wondering why I would buy something made for, several people that I mostly play by myself. Well, truth is, I always liked the idea that one day, not today obviously, one day it would be nice to have a family to sit together and play like this. Kind of like a board game night. So I collect them anyway, just on the off chance that one day it does become a thing. One of these days, assuming we can stand each other long enough to sit down and play for hours at a time. But you know how that goes, especially since Thanksgiving just happened. A few hours may be a little too much for most people. But I like the idea. I like the idea of it. Coin tokens. Of course, can't forget 500 dice. Little figures. I guess they're supposed to be the characters you play as. Oh, statues and busts. Oh, there we go. That's pretty cool. And of course, the 500 cards, secrets. The old woods. So anyway, I promised I'd make a video just to post it. Try and get used to it. I'm sorry if the screen's shaky and I get it all wrong. I'm not used to dealing with people who want recordings of me. I was always kind of camera shy for obvious reasons. The manner. Good lord. This game looks like it's going to take a while to get used to. So, from what I understand about this game, it's basically an investigation game. I actually originally got it around Halloween, but they lost it in the mail. Although, to be fair, that was right around election time, so I kind of expected it. But I eventually got a replacement after Halloween, but I like the idea of it. The whole game's basically kind of like a mystery game. Something is lurking in the town. You try to figure out how to find it and how to get rid of it. For example, here we've got what looks like a cathedral, an abandoned one. Hang on, let me get it out here for a moment. This is a 10-year anniversary edition, which is supposed to have a lot of the expansion packs they've had throughout the time and added to the game. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. You're supposed to paint all these little action figures, but I don't know if I'm that brave yet because, to be honest, I could never draw a stick figure straight, much less paint things to look nice. But seeing as it's mine, and seeing as I like the idea of having a nice, pretty little, painted up cathedral, or whatever villains there might be. See a windmill here. I think all of that would look really nice once it's laid out on the board game table, showing you what it's like, And of course, once you get it right once with painting, that's all you really got to do. You don't have to worry about it anymore, assuming it doesn't get messed up and you have to order a new one. Anyway, I just kind of got into board games recently, and I like the idea of several of them. I've bought quite a few, but this one in particular intrigued me because I'm really fond of Halloween. Halloween to me is like the best time to have thematic, spooky stuff around. And Christmas is good too, don't get me wrong. Christmas is always so hectic, and Christmas takes up more and more of the year every year, it seems like. Halloween, on the other hand, you get a month to really enjoy it, which is watching all the spooky movies and, having the candy for the kids if there's any kids around. But what better than a board game set in a theme kind of like the movie Sleepy Hollow? I like the idea of it anyway. Maybe it's just me. Let's see what else is in here. No idea what to... Oh, this is the board. Oh, okay. Maybe be careful with this. Don't want to mess it up. Yeah, see, it's a simple little board. Yeah. Now these cards back a little bit. Alright. So, to read what's on it, we've got the manor, the town hall, magistrate, the crossroads, the old woods, the abandoned keep, so on and so on and so on. And what you basically do is you put your characters down on the map and want to explore through all these different parts of town looking for clues about the monster, whatever the monster may be, which, just from looking at a few of the cards here, you've got a werewolf. Let's see here. The Volgovian Nutcracker. I didn't even know that was a thing, but okay. The Delian Druid. Krampus, of course. A Shadow Witch. A Scarecrow. So yeah, to me this sounds like a great game for Halloween. Spectral Horseman. Of course, he's going to be a pain in the ass. A Vampire, of course, classic. And each one of these little cards here that I'm looking at are their behaviors and their stats that you got to keep up with. How difficult they are and how they react to you. This I was kind of surprised about. A 10-year anniversary CD that they made for the game. So that if you wanted to really get into the theme of the game, put spooky music on. Supposedly it has a couple cards with it too, from what I understood. I haven't opened it up yet, but I thought that was kind of interesting. If you really want to get into the theme, you'd have a room set up all dark and spooky, witch props and, I don't know, scarecrow props and pumpkins and all that. Then you'd set everyone down around the table, getting ready to go hunt a vampire that's shown up in town. I quite like the idea of it. Oh, speaking of the Spectral Horseman, right there. I think that's pretty neat. Of course, you can't say the Headless Horseman. That's copyright. Wouldn't want to offend a multi-billionaire corporation. They'll rip you to shreds. So we've got the Spectral Horseman. Completely not at all like the Headless Horseman, of course. Even though they're both missing a head, it looks like. But hey, copyright. Here's your main cards for the werewolf. Ooh. Your villains. The vampire. Classic horror. Let's see if it has a couple of... Yeah, here's the heroes. Now these are more the people you play. So, from what I've understood about the game so far, all of the people that you actually see on the cards themselves, the heroes, are actually people who made the game, dressed up in costumes. You got to love that. Even if you're not into board games, who doesn't like to dress up and act spooky and everything for a theme for something, you know? Even some people who don't like to party, they'll at least like to get up and dress sometime. And role play something. Well, anyways, I just wanted to show this off a little bit while I try to figure out whether this camera's working well or not. Thanks for watching.